Okay, welcome back to a very, I don't know, weird week. It was the first week of Inktober, days 1 through 7. Luckily for me, it started on a Thursday, so I got the first 7, in one video. But it was hard not to do the drawing every day, like, I don't have a job or anything right now, but recording has been a nightmare. So like, I did the first few recordings on one software and then a few editings on a different software, and it's been a nightmare. It just got a complete nightmare. But I did it, and you'll see at the end that I'm trying new things. If you have any advice on how to make the scroll at the end better, please let me know. And I hope that I sound more coherent. I don't know what happened last week. I was just not myself. Anyways, the piece that's on the screen, it's a koi fish, obviously. That's not the only thing that's in it. It's a very in-depth piece. I want to start out strong. And you'll see I get more simple and stuff. I think I spent 4 hours on this one. Hatching takes a long time. Hatching takes a very long time, and I realized this, and I kind of regret it, but it's so gorgeous. Everyone says they love this one, which I understand why. It's so intense, and I did a very good composition, and I love this one. Let me toot my own horn for a little bit. This one is amazing. This is gonna be a slightly longer video. It's about 25 minutes. But, you know, whenever you have 5 speed paints put into one, and I try to make things coherent. I know a lot of people who just put speed paints on the internet are just like, here you go! Have fun figuring out what I did, and I don't like doing that. It's more time consuming, so I might not be able to do it whenever I start school next year, but, you know, high quality for now. So, the girl on the left, her name is Valerie, and she is in every single... She's not in every single one, she's not in the last one. But this is her story, so it's implied that she's in all of them. So the one I did yesterday for the 7th is called, the prompt word was fancy, and so you can see like her sleeping mat in a fancy room. So like I said, it's implied in everything. So her name's Valerie, and this is her story. There's not really like a written out word, it's all just pictures, so take from it what you will. I try to make it very interpretive. So if you know the story, or if you're confused about the story, talk to me in the comments. All for that. These clips were so much fun. I loved doing them. But again, I spent like 2 hours on them, so, you know, you win some, you lose some, you hurt your wrist from hatching for 2 hours, you know. Pros and cons of being an artist. I've gotten faster at hatching, especially since I section off things like I'm doing right now. That way I can, like, I don't go through the line. But I also have gotten better control, so I don't have to go back through and erase some thicker lines. I knew she wasn't going to be very much seen because of, like, the overlay of the top of the ocean, or stream, or whatever it is, and everything. Like, a lot of people don't even see her whenever I show them this. So I didn't spend a lot of time on her. I did just want to get, like the right implication of her. In case anyone did see her, she looked like the same character as always. Oh yeah, and you'll see frequently throughout this thing that I just go from the colored to black and white because I don't like working black and white. It hurts my eyes. But in the spirit of Inktober, and also my comic, will be black and white. So I just put overlays on it. It's a clipping mask, and I go to color mode, and a lot of people say that this isn't very accurate or whatever, but it's good enough for me. I don't see any, like, huge value shifts, which is all I really care about. This koi wasn't popping out as much as I wanted it to, so I put some white on it, and then to bring that value a little bit more in the background, I did some highlights on the cliffs and everything, and then put clouds in the background. I do use a lot of decoration brushes or, like, photo brushes throughout this, mainly because it's a daily challenge, and two, I'm a digital artist. I will use the tools I have available to me, like the straight line tool. If you think it's cheating, go find a traditional artist who doesn't use a ruler. I have a compass, and I have like a half circle ruler and everything for whenever I'm playing around in my sketchbook. And anyone who says that it's cheating to do all that, or do what I do digitally, thinks that it's cheating to do that. Like, that's my opinion. Tough. Her part does go from right to left throughout these pictures, because I do flip the reference and don't take that into account. I did realize that today whenever I was drawing it, and it's kind of funny. I'm not gonna go back and fix them. They're posted on Instagram, and I got too much other stuff to draw and worry about. But we can laugh, and maybe she just likes having her part in different ways. She's in this pose a lot, by the way. She's having a rough time at it. And I don't know if this is supposed to be like we're following her throughout the month or whatever, but we're definitely following her struggles, and she struggles a lot. I mean, it's apocalyptic. It's not supposed to be easy. Yeah. Also, I don't really show y'all me filling in colors because it gets kind of repetitive and boring. For her, just the, like, flat tones. I did create the new brush like I said I needed to last week. It was a lot harder than I was expecting, because Procreate and Clip Studio Paint don't have the straight, like, the same names for stuff. So that's why I'm using her hair now, and it's not quite the same. It's a bit too smooth, but it still, does the job. I think she looks closer to my character reference sheet on the left. And don't worry, she does smile later. Just, not when she is camping for the first time and has no idea what to eat or anything. I actually had to come back and draw the smoke in, because the prompt word was wisp, and I didn't have any wispy things. And I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Because I thought I was actually done, but then I looked at it again, and I didn't have the wisp, and the logs looked boring, and there wasn't a lot of shading on the rocks around the fire. I do think I'm a little too ambitious, and I do think I work a little harder than I should on stuff. Like, I didn't need to do that gradient on the ground. I didn't need to add that texture on the ground. But I did it, and it looks amazing. I don't know, I'm working on it. My dad gave me some good advice of just setting a timer, and when the timer is done, you're done. Which I'm definitely going to take. I actually set a timer today, but I didn't need it. I didn't do any hatching on the one today. I also didn't record today's, because this past week has shown me how frustrating editing can be. So, we'll get less speed paints next week. But, oh, this one was for bulky. I didn't record it. I was only going to not record Saturdays and Wednesdays, but I didn't record today's either, so, it's a very loose rule. I will give you at least one speed paint a week. That is a hard rule, because I'm trying to get this YouTube up and running again. The prompt word for this one was radio. So, I do believe this is like the beginning of the apocalypse, so there's some radio stations still out there, and this is like a battery-powered one or something. I really like this. I can just create a grid and morph it into whatever I want, and then duplicate it till my heart's content. To make the, like, speaker thing. I do realize that the buttons look sunken in and not popping out like I wanted them to, but there's a lot of things that I'm learning. Also, I don't think she looks I don't think she looks right in this one. I think she looks like the wrong race. I'm just saying I did poorly on keeping her on model this time. I don't even know how. I tried to figure out, like, why she looks different, but I couldn't figure it out. So if you have any insight to why she doesn't look the right... Like, she doesn't look like Valerie in this one. Did I say her name? Her name's Valerie. My cousin named her, which I'm very grateful for. Can't forget the scarf. I love this scarf. It's always so much fun to draw. It is a pain, because it does add a lot of time to the drawing it and the texturing it, the shirt with texturing in and everything, but it really gives Valerie character. Like, what would she look like without her plaid? Sometimes she doesn't wear the scarf in the pictures, or you can't see it in the pictures, but she always has that plaid and those plain pants. And those plain pants are always so much fun. And her hair's in a bun, always. Just because that's her. Like, she sleeps with it in a bun. A few days from now, I have an image of her where she's, like, woken up in the middle of the night, and I was like, maybe she shouldn't be in a bun, because, like, who actually sleeps with their hair in a bun? That seems super uncomfortable, but I was like, how would her hair look then? Especially since there's another character, like, spoilers, but there's another character later this month that comes in. A prompt word is buddy, and I guess I could have done a dog or something, but, giving myself the challenge of drawing 2 characters every day for the last, like, week seemed like a grand idea. Especially since I'm going somewhere for Halloween. You know. Fun times. I might change that now that I think about it. Also, apparently, I thought that every single image was too bright. All of them. They all needed to be dark and brooding. I think I got better. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, yesterday's I left bright because I had realized I was doing that, like making all of them dark and brooding. The one that's inside and probably should be dark and brooding is not. But whatever. And I also like to give her an environment. Like, it looked really awful with her just laying on a dark background. So I added some grass, and then to make sure that you know that she's listening to music and not like the radio or anything, I added music notes. It was super easy. I found out Clip Studio Paint has a gradient erase, which is amazing, and whenever you see the end with the scroll, if you want to see what I mean, you can pause it. But the music notes get fainter as they get further away from the radio, and I thought that was brilliant. Also, so now we're on to Blade, is the prompt word for this one. I think I did really good. And then I realized that the hand is covering the entire handle like it should. So I spent a lot of time on this handle, hatching it and doing the cool design on the handle, and I just didn't show you the hatching on it because, well, you don't see the hatching, it all gets erased because the hand covers it. So that was uber frustrating, but like, whatever, right? And this arm isn't the best. I don't think I've ever drawn a hand holding something like that, so that was difficult, but I think I did pretty good. Also, if you see my reference images, I often leave them on the canvas while I'm working so I can refer to them. I try to cut out whenever I zoom over them because you don't need to see the zoomed in version of that, but they're often in the top corner so you can see them on the navigation tool, which I use. That's always very helpful for me. I keep it there so I can look at the thumbnail. I need to use it more to see if my details are doing anything, because often I just use it to make sure it's reading well, but I know a lot of people look at the thumbnails to see if their details mean anything, like if they're adding anything, and I know a lot of my details don't. So this one was really cool. I really liked blurring the brush and making it look like something was coming out of that. I think the next one is rodent, and I know some people might not like what I did for that as much, but, you know, Apocalypse, she's gotta eat. Like, don't judge her. Also, I have to stop leaving her plaid to the last thing, because I always had just given up by the time I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do the plaid. Might as well edit. And again, the background's never like white, because I always want it to be a little dark and brooding. So I tried to add, you know, lighter values on her skin. I'm trying to push the values a lot. That's, you know, kind of the point of this, is to push the values and work in black and white. At least that's what I'm doing for Inktober, is pushing my values and everything and making it work without using like pure white for the most part. I do sometimes get pure white, but for the most part not using pure white or pure black, just like super dark and super light. like a 1 to 9 scale, because pure white and pure black can be like jarring, I've noticed. This one, yeah, this is rodent, and if you have a soft spot for rodents, I would just skip forward about 2-3 minutes, so you can just avoid looking at a dead rat, because that's what's gonna be in the bottom corner. But she is, you know, fending for herself and working, and this one has so many problems. I'm pretty sure I was just, like, I had somewhere to be or something. I don't know. This one seems rushed whenever I rewatched it while I was editing it. And it probably was. Like, her pant leg in the end doesn't line up from the knee to the shin, like, at all. And her fingers are super messed up, and I try to fix them, but not really. It was a hard hand pose anyways, both of the hands, and just a lot of problems that I was noticing. And I tried to fix them, but, like, didn't have the time or energy. And I think that's something that Inktober can teach you very well, is just, like, letting certain things go. Like, does this actually look like trash? Do you actually need to fix this? Or will it just, you know, suffice? Like, accepting flaws. I guess that's the big deal. Can you accept flaws in your image? I do think this rat turned out adorable, but I also do think it is heavily implied that it is not long for this world. I didn't show a lot of the rocks on this one, because there's 2 fireplaces and I draw them the same. That's what style is Ray's simplifying objects the same way every time. And I draw logs and rocks the same way both times. I do show you a little bit because, well, like, it's a major part of this image, so. I don't know what to say much about this, except for the rocks are really fun, because you, like, create shapes with simple lines. And I think that's my favorite part about line work, is being able to form, like, imply 3D-ness without, like, you don't even need tone. Because if I didn't add, like, shading or like hatching or anything, I think you would still read the 3D-ness of the rocks, like on the left here. And I love that about line work, is you can imply 3D-ness. You don't need shading or anything. It helps for sure, like the scarf looks more 3D with that shading. It looks like she has boobs with the plaid, but you know, you barely needed that. I do like shading a lot. I love shading. Also, you don't get a lot of the end of that because my camcorder died and I wasn't waiting for it to charge because I was like in the moment, you know? So this one is, like I said, I wanted it to feel brighter because all of them were feeling super dark. And here with the scroll, you can see that like a lot of them are just too dark. I hope y'all have a wonderful week, And if y'all have any questions or anything, let me know. Or if you know how to make this look smooth, let me know.